Hey folks, welcome to Market Technical Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Friday, September 26th, 2008. Well, today was a classic case of pessimism turned to optimism, and that's really the way to describe today's market, as we started on the downside very fearful that no deal would be reached in an orderly fashion, in a timely fashion, and by the end of the day, it seemed like the market was a little more upbeat that a deal would be reached by Sunday into Monday. And that's really how we ended the day, with the Dow up 121 points. The NASDAQ was just flat on the day, down 3 points, and that's, of course, because of research in motion, which we covered yesterday. And the S&P was up about 4 points, or about 0.3%. So a decent day across the board. We continue to hold the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, which means continuing to be on a bullish side of things here for the feelings into next week. Obviously, anything can change with the government and how crazy things are there. But for the most part, you have to respect that 0.618 Fibonacci retracement number and give the market the benefit of doubt and look to the upside. Now, before we go into everything else, I just want to make a couple announcements here, guys. Number one, the new website is up. www.inthemoneystocks.com is our updated, state-of-the-art website where the Research Center will contain the videos from now on. We're going to have the Hidden Gems report. We're going to have the Technical Tactic of the Month, Swing Trade of the Month, rules of the trade, and so forth. A lot of things inclusive in that one Research Center. We'll also obviously have the chat room on there for all to view and go sign up for, as well as the swing trade alerts. Private consulting, we're actually going to be offering for people to come and trade with us in the office. Consulting, hedge fund consulting, obviously institutional consulting, and so forth. So go to the website, check it out. This is the last video that will be available on YouTube after today. The videos will be just available on our website to our subscribers. All right, folks, we love the fact that all of you guys have been out there and supporting us, and we do hope you continue to follow us over to our website and make our Research Center the most popular on the web, just like these videos are. All right, the other thing is, I want to just point out that all across the world, I know we have a big following in Asia, in Europe, and just all over the world, and we do hope that you guys come and sign up. We know that the videos are available on a lot of your websites in your countries, and you can use a normal credit card. We have gone to pure credit card technology, so anywhere in the world can sign up. There's no hassle like on our old site. All right, folks, let's get into things here. So we talked about the pessimism turning to optimism. You can see that clearly here, okay? Number one, you see the initial gap down in the markets. All right, futures were down as much as 20-plus points, and each basic period of the day was a beautiful categorized nature of this pessimism to optimism, because you basically had the lows here around 8:30 in the morning, right? And that's right around when you usually get that economic news at 8:30. People are really getting started looking at the market, and all of a sudden you get this little uptick, all right? You get a nice rally, a small pullback, this is a bullish pattern. Bullish pattern leads to another rally, another pullback, and another rally into the close. Now, it's not just that people were expecting, that optimism to come in. Part of it is short covering as well, obviously, for what's left to be shorted. And let's face it, there's not a whole lot out there after all the rules that have gone into effect. But long story short, it's a mix of short covering. People don't want to remain short over the weekend, considering this bailout deal is expected to be released here Sunday into Monday. In addition, you also have the idea of the optimism, obviously people buying on the expectation that the deal is taken care of. All right, enough of the intraday stuff. Volume was relatively light today. People really just waiting to see what happens with this whole government bailout situation. How much is it going to be? When is it going to be announced? What caveats are they going to have? They're obviously going to put caps on CEOs and lots of those people leaving those companies so they can't get $20 million, which is a good thing, obviously. But you also have other issues. Well, how much is it going to be? $350 million now and $350 million later? Is it going to be $700 million now and nothing later, and so forth? So there's a lot to work out there. I do think that the deal will be reached by Sunday into Monday for that. All right. Now let's take a look at the overall market. Let's go to the daily chart of the SPY and just see what exactly is going on, because we continue to hold that 0.618 retrace level. Here it is, guys. And again, as I pointed out yesterday, from this point here to this point here, the drop down is a 0.618 retracement, which is a key Fibonacci number. As long as you continue to hold that, you have to give the market the benefit of the doubt here. But notice the light volume consolidation, all right? That's very, very interesting as well. The other thing I would point out is look at the two pullback days, really the three pullback days we had after this gap up here. So 1, 2, 3. Volume's still very light on those days as well, which also gives you an idea that maybe there's a push up coming. We'll see. You know, we often like to go out on a limb and just say, yes, we do think it's going to rally, and we're 99% of the time right. The only thing that bothers us here is that you're not dealing with normal markets. You're dealing with markets that are being manipulated, markets that are hinging on a bailout plan. You're dealing with markets where you can't short. It's financial stocks and certain other stocks. So it really makes it a little tougher for us to do it, but we still do it, and we still are and going to be mostly right in this situation. So in any case, you can see the key number here. On the upside, obviously, your resistance line is right here at the 20 moving average. Ultimately, though, you're looking at a resistance line here, and then if we do continue up and a real strong rally comes in, you're looking at a resistance level of this point up here. This will be the major one. Anything up to the upside is going to be a decent resistance level that I pointed out, but this is the ultimate resistance line that we got to face. All right. Once we get up there, it's a matter of do we break it, and if we break it, then obviously on the upside, this is the next point here, which would be the key level. All right. So you can see you really have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the upside. On the downside, it's very easy. On the downside, here's 1. Here's 2, and after that, you watch out. You know, after that, we have to look for confirmation. We break the lows here. On the downside, you look for confirmation of that move. If we confirm it, then we have to go back basically multiple years to find the next area of support on that chart, which we can obviously do, but we're not going to focus on that right now. Really, you want to pay attention to the 0.618, the 20 moving average, and then this point up here. Okay, now let's take a look at a few other things, because we obviously knew research in motion was going to get slaughtered today. We talked about that in yesterday's video. Sure enough, I mean, this is just unfortunate here. Basically, you know, sales are suffering. They had a lot more expenses just to get one customer, and you can see the level that was consolidating here and then broke down. All right, right now after hours trading up a little bit as it's bouncing back. You probably get a little short covering. Look at the volume, intense volume here today on research in motion. It was down to almost $27 today to a closing price of $70.76. Technology as a whole was weak today. That was part of it, folks. Part of it was technology was weak, and even with research in motion down almost $27, the NASDAQ only closed down 3 points. That's amazing. If yesterday you told me that RIM would be down $27 and the NASDAQ would have been only down 3 points to flat, I would have said you got to be crazy. You got to be kidding me. But sure enough, and that's showing a little relative underlying strength. Even though the large cap techs all sold off today, the NASDAQ as a whole was pretty much flat on the day. The Dow was up over 100 points. So again, people kind of shrugging it off, and everyone's just focusing on this bailout plan to see what happens. We're going to continue to watch Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is key. I've really noticed here, folks, is that everything in the financial sector is the haves and the have-nots. There's a split now going. All right, you have stocks like Downey Financial, and let me bring up that chart. Downey Financial, last 2 days getting crushed 50% plus of the value, closing down $1.87 today to $2.03, just absolutely killed. I mean, look at this chart here, from $5.50 all the way down to $2, which is actually more than 50% just in 2 days of trading here. This is one of the have-nots. NCC, National City. There's a lot of talk that this is gonna go out. All right, so you also have a huge drop today. It came back a large chunk, but was still down about $1.28 to $3.71 today. And you can see it on the chart. I mean, look at how far this was down. So that's another have-not. You have haves, though, like Bank of America. Bank of America up $2.33 today. You also have the Goldman Sachs, as we just showed, up $2.50 today. And let's see, what's the other one there? Wells Fargo, WFC, huge bounce today, up $3 plus, almost 10% move on Wells Fargo today. So you can see this divergence now happening. It's who's going to survive and who's not going to. Who's going to benefit immensely and survive with the bailout plan, and who's not going to survive either way. And that's really what you're seeing here, guys. The disparity, the divergence of the financials, and that's going to continue to happen. All right, it's just the way it is. I mean, when it comes down to it, there's going to be a few that survive, a few that come out insanely strong. Everything else will fall by the wayside. Kind of like genetics, you know. It's the strong survive, the weak fall by the wayside. Evolution, if you would. All right. So in any case, folks, an interesting day for that aspect. But everyone's just on pins and needles, waiting for this bailout to be announced. What is it going to entail? We're going to release the Hidden Gem report on the website tonight under the Research Center. And it's one of my favorite stocks. It's just been crushed lately. It's a small cap. Now it's a small cap because it's been crushed so much. But it should be, I think it's going to be a fantastic gainer. And obviously it'll be interesting as I put forth my research to you all on that Research Center over the weekend. You guys can view it. Again, the other thing I want to announce, folks, webinar. We have scheduled a webinar for October 4th. That's Saturday, October 4th. On the new website, you can go and sign up for it. You can see everything it covers covered in the webinar. It's just a fantastic 5-hour course. We're going to go over a lot of our proprietary stuff. You guys know we haven't done a webinar in a while. We were waiting for the new website. Now it's scheduled. You can see it on the website. Please go sign up. You will benefit immensely from it. It's a fantastic webinar for beginners, middle, and advanced because we cover so much of this proprietary stuff. We even feel, even for the advanced trader, it's a good thing to do. Have a wonderful day, guys. Come find the new website in www.inthemoneystocks.com. For all you that won't make it over, we are sad to see you go, but we hope you again eventually follow us over, because we do know, and as we've proven, that these videos and the research we put forth is top notch out there. There's no one else out there that's doing such accurate information, and we are aware of that. Have a wonderful day, guys. We love you all. Take care.